here with Miki Naftali, founder and CEO of the Naftali Group. Miki, thanks so much for being with The Real Deal.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the development situation in New York. You've had an incredible run. The last few months have been some record-breaking contracts. We talked about a $67 million deal on the Upper East Side.
Right.
Yeah.
1165 million.
How far can pricing go?
No, I don't think that the price is going to continue to go up. So that's not, in my opinion, what is going to happen. But what we see is that there is a really healthy market here, meaning there is not too much inventory, and the really good product is selling very well. Now, it's not exactly the same if there is a mediocre product or the lower end of the market. The lower end of the market is becoming a little bit soft because of the mortgage rates. Mm-hmm. Those buyers are sensitive to mortgage rates, and once you get to the lower end of the market with the total price, you start to see some softening in the market. The high end of the market is very, very strong, and there is not a lot of good product that can compete.
So in terms of supply, is something holding us back from building at the pace that we need to build?
Yeah, I mean land. Two things, right? You need the land, you need to buy it at the right basis, and the construction costs. Construction costs went up quite dramatically in the last year and a half.
Are you still waiting, like many other developers, for product to come in, raw material to come in? Are you dealing with all of that?
Yes, we're dealing with that, but we managed to find ways to deal with it. So at the end of the day, we need to deliver our product. We have time schedule. We have buyers that are waiting to move in. So if we didn't work on one side, we move to the other side and we are solving the problem. But it's not easy. It's definitely, I would say I'm doing it in New York for 22 years. And overall 33 years doing real estate, it's the first time that I'm dealing with such a big problem on the supply chain. It's a real problem.
And it doesn't look like it's necessarily resolving anytime soon. Let's talk about buyer preferences. I think the $67 million deal I mentioned, very unusual setup where the buyer, I believe it's a New York buyer, you haven't said more than that, but they asked for a blank slate almost and an elevator connecting two units. What was that like?
So it started with us. So 1165 is the Belmont. It's on Madison Avenue. What we did, we said, okay, how we create something very, very unique. So we designed a building that each and every floor has a 14-foot ceiling, which, think about the movies that you know.
It's that great Central Park co-op.
Or even the Parisian famous apartments, right? Very gracious, fantastic ceiling height. So that's what we created, and we created big units because that's the demand. We didn't think that we'll have a buyer that will want to combine two duplex units, all together 4 floors at the top of the building. But there's always a surprise. And the reason he wanted to do it is because, for one reason only, he couldn't find it, or it doesn't exist. So when you have a product that there is no competition, doesn't exist, right, and it's the right product for this buyer, they're going to buy it. So
in terms of pricing back and forth, there was not much of that?
No, not at all, because for me, it was a headache. Why would for me to combine two duplex units for a buyer, it might slow down the construction. If it slows down the construction, I'm going to be late to deliver units, and I'm going to pay more interest to my lender. I don't like to pay too much interest to my lender. So I want to finish as quickly as possible at the right quality, right? So for me, at first, I said, no, it doesn't make sense. I don't want to combine the unit. But then the buyer was very persistent and was willing to say, okay, just please connect for me the 4 floors and I will complete them. He's the first buyer, probably in the last at least 10 years, that is buying from us a unit that what we call a white box. All the other buyers are buying what we design, and they rarely change anything. So anyway, it's a first time for us.
And it's a happy ending.